Actually, I would like to ask the panelists whether you have a kind of a retraining program in your companies. Not to say that there's a learning curve, and then we have taken a break. So there is a chance for us to train ourselves. Is there a retraining program in any of your organizations? Can you elaborate a little on that, please? Thank you.
I think all the companies will have some answers. So who would like to go first? So I will. You would like to? Yeah, please, Suresh.
So in terms of retraining opportunities, all that I can tell you is what makes you think that by taking a break you need retraining, and by somebody who's not taken a break doesn't need retraining? And this is something that we keep talking about in our company. There are so many of us who take for granted that what we have been doing for the last 10 years will help us do the right things for the next 10 years. So to you, my specific point is retraining is not something which you only need to worry about. I think everyone who is really wanting to make a mark in their career at some point in time needs to get retrained and pick up new things. So I think you're just about equal like anybody who continues in the company without taking the break. And in terms of specific stuff, in terms of whether organizations have things to retrain, the point of view that I have on that is there are a lot of jobs which will require the kind of skill sets that you possess. And I think it's a question of finding out the kind of organization and the kind of responsibility of the profile where your profile matches the closest. And the number of years that you've spent, and I've had colleagues who have come back into our organization, come back into exactly the same job that they left when they went, or come back to a different job. And I think the question starts with the conversation that you have with the organization.
In my experience, I think in India, there are hardly any companies that have retraining of women. It's a very new concept. It's come up a lot in the US lately, especially in the financial services space. So Goldman Sachs has it, Morgan Stanley has it, JP Morgan has it. So especially financial services, and they're bringing those to India. So I would recommend, if you're looking at retraining programs, I mean the financial services industry, especially the global financial services, is the place to look for them. I don't see any other industry, and I may be wrong out here, but at least in my experience, I don't see them having formal programs. They may have something softer.
For women who have come back after break, actually. Sorry, yeah.
Yes, so reskilling or, helping women come back after the break is something that, we do. Avatar iWin does it. WINSKILLS is a program that actually helps women to refurbish their skills and to come back after the break. But even the programs that you mentioned, they do not provide any actual training in terms of, the skills, as in your own employable skills, your core skills, whether GE or, Tata's and all of that. The key thing is that the industry does expect that you contribute and you stay in touch with your core skills. So, while there are other things which, people can add, like for instance, if you take our own WINSKILLS program, we have a program called Identity Explorer. What it does is, the group of women who have taken a break in career, when they want to return to the workplace, they come up with many, many challenges. I mean, very simple questions like, what kind of a salary can I expect? Is it okay for me to go into another area than what I was working on before the break? I might have worked in accounts before the break, now I want to get into HR. Or, this is the level at which I was in, would I come back to the same level or would I go to a level lower? So there are multiple hundreds of questions that you all have. So we try and address that in WINSKILLS. The whole aspect of retraining women, in terms of your core skills, that is the responsibility of the women themselves. Which means, if you've been in accounts, I think it's fairly easy for you to understand the, trends that are happening in the market and, pick up those skills. What would be difficult for you are the behavioral aspect of it. In terms of how do you gain the confidence, how do you gain your identity, how you're able to make those connections and network powerfully. Those are things which, you can pick up in the form of training. So I just wanted to add that, Pandian.